doing legal lending in BC?
Um, BC is a very user-friendly environment for it. Some jurisdictions have restrictions on the way that lawyers can fund the disbursements. Some of them have restrictions, some of them, quite frankly, have restrictions on not allowing them to fund the disbursements. Others have restrictions on what disbursements can be funded. Others have restrictions on how much disbursements can be funded. BC is essentially wide open for that. There are no restrictions at all on a lawyer funding the disbursements on a particular case. There's no limitations as to how much money can be funded on there, and there's no limitations on where that money may potentially come from. In other words, it doesn't have to come from the lawyer individually. It can come from the lawyer borrowing money from another source to fund those disbursements. So it's the easiest jurisdiction to do that at the end of the day, because of the fact that there are no bureaucracy involved in doing that kind of work.
Okay. Also, is there a difference in law between, say, Ontario and BC in terms of like how safe the disbursements are going to be recouped?
Other jurisdictions they can be a little harsher if things don't go as you expect in court. Like Ontario can be quite harsh on disbursement recovery if things are not working the way that you necessarily would want them to work out. I think BC is, again, a little easier for that, and it tends to be more of it. The way the system is set up is the insurer in these cases, who are representing the defendants, is supposed to, at the end of the day, and as part of any settlement resolution, supposed to pay the full disbursements in addition to whatever they're paying by way of settlements. Other jurisdictions sometimes have, again, some restrictions on that. They only have to pay a certain amount on certain disbursements. BC tried that recently and I say BC, I mean the government tried to potentially have some restrictions on motor vehicle accident claims in terms of what you could claim. And that was rejected and defeated in court. So we don't have that here, but other jurisdictions do. So there may be more stricter regimes in terms of what you can recover in other jurisdictions.
Okay. Now, my follow-up question on that is, then that's in theory. In practice, is that the case? Like in BC, like do people usually get the full disbursement bounce back on top in addition to the
Yes, all the time. I've never had an issue with it. Everybody understands that's the way it works, and that part's never the issue. The issue in settling a claim is never recapturing the disbursements. It's whether or not you're getting a fair settlement for the claim itself.
Right.
In addition to the disbursement, that's always the issue.